What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It is Thursday, good people. Shelton J. Think about a radio. Let's get you home loan ready. I put on the topic patience. Patience throughout the home loan process. What does patience mean? What do you mean I have to wait? I found the house that I want. I got the approval that I want. I got the amount of money on the line. I got my money saved up. I got my credit right. What do you mean I have to wait? I might have to waited 6 months before I even got to this particular point. Now, you mean to tell me I got to wait 30, 45 more days to get my house? Come on, man. I'm tired of waiting. I'm ready to move in right now. But see, here's the deal. As many things that we can control in the mortgage process that you can control yourself, there's a lot that goes on in the process that we really can't control. Say, for instance, verification of rent, verification of residence, if you will, that we send over to the landlord or apartment complex or wherever you stayed at, right? We get the verification of that, and we wait for them to send that back. If you go into sometimes they're like big apartment complexes and things of that nature, they may get to you that day. It may not be to that week, but we apply the pressure on them and contact them and try to ensure that they get it done at a expedited, if you will, to try to get it done in a fast time. Same thing about verification of employment. When you fill out the application for your 2 years worth of work history is what they want, an average of 2 years worth of your work history. Okay. Once you have that filled out, it may be the same job that you worked at for multiple years, but what if you worked at different companies? So you have to contact those different companies to get the verification of the employment. And sometimes these human resources department, they're not really fast about getting that information out. Some of them are. But some of the bigger companies, if it go through like a batch email or like a big bulk of emails, if you will, you kind of get lost in the shuffle. So if you know someone from the human resource side, maybe kind of cool to let them know that, you know what, hey, I'm in the market looking for a home. So if you get a verification of employment coming in, kind of let me know, move that to the top of the pile, if you will. If you know someone in human resources that's willing to do that for you, to put a special attention on getting that done because they understand that time is money. Because when you're doing a home loan, okay, how some of the process works a little bit. I'm gonna try to explain a little bit without boring you guys, right? But when you lock in a loan, what we call lock in a rate, okay? When we pull the information, we look at the financials to see if you guys can qualify for a home loan based upon the investor options that's available, right? So we look at those investor options and we lock you in with an investor 30, 45 days or whatever, meaning that particular rate and price that we have you guys locked in at is good for 30 to 45 days. So that 30 to 45 days is the time frame that we need to get the paperwork in to the underwriter to look at it. Then the investor looks at it, and then everybody, it's a moving system, if you will. Everything has a place. Everybody has a role in this thing, from the originator to the document processing, to the underwriter, to the investor, to the funding, to the closing, to all those things. So you have so many different levels when it comes to just one loan. So it's going to take a little time and a little patience, but the sooner we get the information from you, the borrower, then we get the information and we process it, put it into our systems, see what the numbers tell us, give you guys information and paperwork based upon that. We print out disclosures, what we call disclosures, meaning that there's a list of documents that explains everything that's going on. Get those back, able to proceed to the next level. Then it goes to underwriting. They look at it. Then it goes to the investor based upon the investor guidelines. Because, see, sometimes the mortgage company will have what they call overlays on top of what the investor asks. So the investor may ask for ABC. The company may ask for EDFG. You just never know. So it all depends on the file, and all files are not created equal. So everyone is going to be different. You have some cases to where you can close in 2 weeks. If everything flows smooth and everything comes in fast, you're looking at a couple of weeks closing, getting it done. It just all depends upon the investor, the level of information that they need, the level of speed that everyone has involved in this to getting all the information done. Because if it's not done correctly, then it can't be verified and it can't be approved. So it has to be done correctly and everyone has to be on board. It has to be a team effort, from your realtor to your originator, to the underwriter, to the investor. Everyone has to have your best interest at heart. And it is okay for you to pick up the phone and call the loan originator. Hey, what's going on with my file? What have you heard? And if they're not communicating with you and setting the proper expectation, then you may want to get you a different originator. I'm not hating on the originator, but not just because I want y'all to deal with me. I'm just simply saying that I want you guys to be in the best position possible, rate-wise, and not just getting into the home. What happens after you get into the home? Okay? Another thing I want to talk about as well on this show is that you want to make sure that you have as less debt as possible when you're getting into a home loan. They have a thing, what they call the debt-to-income ratio. A lot of you guys may already know what that means, and for those that don't, then let me explain it to you. Debt-to-income ratio means exactly what it says. Your debt versus your income. And it comes to a financial number of the go round into the hundreds, right? And that's the decimal point that it comes to, the little number that it comes to say, okay, this is what you can truly afford. Like for an example, like say if you made $5,000 a month, right? And then you had $1,050 in bills. You would take that $1,050 in revolving bills, like your credit card bills, car notes, loans, installment debt that you have, okay? You would take that and divide that by the 5,000. You would come up with a 0.21 and a bunch of other numbers, right? So we're looking at 0.21, right? 0.21 would be your debt to income ratio with what you have right now, okay? With your current payments, current credit cards, current installment debt that you have, $1,050. Okay, I'm trying to slow down and say it because people always tell me I talk fast, and I know I talk fast, so I'm trying to really slow down for you guys to really understand this example. Okay, when they talk about getting into a home and being able to afford it and putting yourself in a position financially to be able to succumb some of these things, you know, to throw off. I guess they help balance some of the unforeseen things that comes with home ownership. Because remember, you own this home now. You can't just call the landlord and then they call the maintenance company to come fix it, right? So you have to be liable for these things yourself. So I'm giving you these numbers to kind of give you an idea to where you don't want to be so financially strapped to where now you have a house, but then you have nothing else but that house. So you want to be able to enjoy the home and also enjoy some of the fruits of your labor as well, and not let it be so tied into debt. Okay, so $1,050 is what you currently have right now. $5,000 a month is your gross income. This is how they qualify. We came up with 0.21 debt to income ratio. Okay, now say if you when we do the house, say if you found a house that you liked, okay, and then say when we put everything in the system, it shows that principal and interest on this home would be about a $700 a month payment. Okay, so $700 a month, dollar payment on this. So now you're adding $700 onto this $1,050, whatever, right? So now you got this $1,850 as far as in your bills. Remember, you at $1,050, right? Divided by the 5,000, became up with the 0.21. Now we at $1,850 divided by the 5,000. We come up with 0.37. That number went up. So your debt to income ratio, including the mortgage, the proposed mortgage that you're going to be looking at, right, is going to be roughly 37% debt to income ratio. That's good, okay? Because anytime you're under that 0.43 margin or whatever, you're pretty good in the investor's eyes and the underwriter's eyes, because they look and see that you don't have a lot of debt tied to your name, okay? This mortgage that you're getting will add some more debt, but guess what? They're also considering that the rent that you're paying right now, they don't include that in your present debt to income ratio. So in most cases, I've seen that the rent that you pay is more expensive than the mortgage that you'll pay for your home loan. So therefore, you're giving yourself a better position financially to have a little bit of more disposable income, if you will, or income to save and invest with, right? So again, it's all about positioning and how do you put yourself in that position financially. So if you have credit card debt, pay that debt down. Pay that debt down. That's 30% of your credit score. Credit card utilization. Now you don't have that monthly payment. Say if you're paying $100 a month on 2 credit cards. Say you pay those credit cards off. Now you've given yourself $200 a month in income. That can go towards your mortgage, go towards your payment. Because when you finance a home, you can finance typically 15, 30 years is what people finance them for. Just because you finance it for 30 doesn't mean that you have to take 30 to pay it off. You can always hit what they call principal payments, meaning that if the house is $100,000 today, you can make a payment, a principal payment of $1,000. Now that house is $1,000 less. It's $99,000 now, right? So now you're paying interest on a $99,000 versus $100,000, and that's less money that you're paying interest on. That's how the interest game works. The more the debt, the more the balance, right? The more that you're going to pay interest on it. The less the balance, the less interest that you pay. So you'll be able to save yourself money all across the way. So the whole goal is to be able to, again, put yourself in a home and where you can financially be able to have a little bit of room so you can enjoy everything else that comes with that. And again, I'm going to get back to this patience thing as well, too. If you are an impatient person, just automatically an impatient person, the mortgage process will drive you crazy. The home loan process will drive you crazy. If you do not have a good team around you, I cannot say this enough. You need people around you. The seller's realtor, the buyer's realtor would be you, the loan officer, the underwriter, the processor, the appraiser, the inspector. Everyone needs to be on board and understand that we are here for you, the customer. This is the biggest expense you will most likely have in your life. So you want this to be right. We owe it to you to make it right for you. See, all these people are the professionals that went and took the test and went to school and went to the classes and got their certifications and licenses and all that and do the continuing education every year and all those things. These people are the professionals. So they should handle you in a professional way. And if they're not handling you in a professional way, then you have the right to choose someone else. This is your business. You want to make sure it's handled the best way possible by the best people that just care about you as an individual, and you just happen to need a house or a home loan or some consultation. You may not even be ready to buy a home 3 or 4 months from now. Start now, though. Because when you start now, then you can devise a plan and you can get everything situated. And now you can have those conversations. Maybe you're thinking about switching jobs and you would have a conversation with a lender that said, well, hold on, let's see, is it in the same industry? Or can you explain the gaps in employment? How long will you be out of work? So all these things can be explained, but it just has to be a plan. So if you guys are thinking about purchasing a home, know anyone that's thinking about purchasing a home, have them give me a call. I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with them. I'm licensed in the state of Texas, and if they're looking for a home in another state, I can connect them with a lender, with someone that can help them out in that particular state. I know a lot of people that lend all over the place, so that's not a problem. We can definitely connect them with the right resource. But my main thing and my main purpose for this whole thing is getting into originating was I said that I want to save the world one loan at a time. I understand the history behind lending and how some of the practices were involved that were not right to African American people as well. And my heart goes out to those, and I'm out here fighting that battle for those on the battlefield. I'm representing that. And I understand that. And I know my position in this thing. And so I'm passionate about this home loan thing. Not just getting into a home so I can get a commission and move on down the road. No, to get you in a home, but then also put you in a better financial position beyond that. Beyond just getting into the home. Because you are an individual. You are a person. And you know other people. So if I help you out and put you in a great position, what is that going to do? That you're going to communicate that with other people. And referrals is how you make money in this business. Referrals is how your business thrives. So I want you guys to refer Shelton J, C&T Mortgage, Keep On Pushing Enterprises, Think About a Radio. I want you guys to refer me as awesome service, caring about the people, caring about the community, caring about your bottom line. And that's what it's about. And that's why I'm glad and I'm grateful to be connected with organizations and companies and even my own business, my own credit repair business and everything to help people educate them on the process. Not just a dollar sign. You guys are more than a dollar sign. You guys are more than a hashtag. You guys are more than just another number or more than a credit score. You are real live people out here looking for a home, looking for a lender, looking for an option, looking for some answers to your questions. So deal with someone that has the patience and the understanding that know how this thing goes and really see you as an individual.